Ladies and gentlemen, the American cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Show. I did a Facebook Live about this. Pete Hegseth kicked ass. My biggest takeaway, he will be incredible. Not only taking care of Trump's policies, instituting Trump's policies at the Department of Defense, but recruitment. He's young, he's passionate, he will really help recruitment. Yesterday was great. So many, you could take away so many parts of. Probably the best part, the mic drop moment was Senator Mullen, who really roasted the Democratic senators about alcohol, showing up for Senate votes with alcohol or drunk, the whole thing about cheating on their wives, getting divorced. Man, he laid it down on them. It was great. Hegseth. Department of External Revenue Service. How do you like that? Not internal, external. Trump wants to make this a special department where you really, we already kind of do it, but really wants the External Revenue Department to focus on tariffs. Do you realize that when we founded our country, we didn't have an income tax? Lots of things have changed, but the entire revenue source for our government from the beginning for decades was only tariffs, taxes on alcohol, excise tax, things like that. But the bottom line is that this is nothing new, except he's going to organize it and make America great again. All right, inaugural details. I got all kinds of inaugural details, and I'm going to cover some of them with you. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos are going to sit together. How do you like that? That's different. Zuck's going full-blown mega, it looks like to me, which I find hysterical, but I'm embracing it. The presidents who are going to come, all the former presidents and their wives, including Biden, are going to be there, except Michelle Obama will not be there. Saturday, there's a reception and fireworks at Trump's golf club in Virginia, a cabinet reception and vice president's dinner. Sunday, wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of Unknown Soldier. Trump delivers remarks at a victory rally at Capital One Arena in Washington. Trump delivers remarks at a candlelight dinner. On Monday, Inauguration Day, morning church at St. John's, tea at the White House with the Bidens and Trumps, main event swearing-in ceremony at the Capitol, farewell for Biden-Harris, signing ceremony in the president's room in the Capitol, where he's expected to sign nomination and official acts. He attends a luncheon with Congress. He reviews the troops on the parade, Oval Office signing ceremony. Then he speaks at the Commander-in-Chief Ball, Liberty Inaugural Ball, and the Starlight Ball. Tuesday, a national prayer service concludes the inaugural activities. What else do I want to say about the inauguration? By the way, don't forget, for those of you that aren't traveling to Washington like me, got too much to do, on Inauguration Day, 10 a.m., Boondocks at Union, Kentucky, 10 a.m. on, come and watch the inauguration with yours truly. By the way, that candlelight dinner costs you $1 million. Over the course, since 2020, I have given $1 million to various Trump PACs, causes, family members, and everything else. Guess what I got special for the inauguration? Nothing. No, I didn't push really hard. I mean, I really didn't. In fact, Kimberly Guilfoyle said she was grateful, unlike everybody else that was hounding them for tickets and whatnot. I didn't. Let me see. Other attendees. G from China is not coming. I already told you about the Clintons. Music. They've added Kid Rock and Billy Ray Cyrus to Aldean, Carrie Underwood, and all the rest of them. So there you have all the inaugural details. Other nominee hearings going on right now is Pamela Bondi, and she's doing great. Kristi Noem was at 9 o'clock before the Senate Homeland, Bondi, Senate Judiciary, Rubio, Senate Foreign Relations, Ratcliffe, CI Director, 10, Sean Duffy, Department of Transportation, Chris Wright, 10 o'clock, Energy, Russell Vaught, Office of Budget and Management. And they are just going to keep on rocking. Cuba, are you ready for this? Good old Joe Biden is freeing Cuba is freeing 500 Cubans because Joe Biden took them off the terrorist watch list. Coke is making an inaugural presidential Coke can for who else? The president, because he loves Diet Coke. It's going to be Diet Coke. Gavin Newsom is a bad guy. You know what this guy did? I'd forgotten about this. While married to Kimberly Guilfoyle, my friend, he cheated on her with his best friend's wife, who was also his secretary. What a wanker he is. Fire containment. Now listen, I know this is all serious, and I guess there's a science to it. But don't you crack up Mike Wiggins when they talk about the fire is contained 3%. The fire is contained by 20%. How the hell do they decide the percentages of containment? Isn't a fire either contained or not contained? Do you agree with me? Yes. I can tell you do. All right, there's an egg shortage. If you didn't know this, this is pretty wild. And it's not going to improve anytime. They've had 17 million egg-laying hens die as a result of the avian flu. You know what the key is? You need to call Big Pharma and let them get a vax for the hens, and let's vax every hen. I'm joking. There's a lot of people in Washington now coming in that want to cut who? World Health Organization. Why do we need them? We got the American Health Organization. Michael Rappaport, an actor. Rip Newsom, mic drop line. You know what he said? But you know he got $50 million from the California State Legislature for Trump-proofing California on the deportation of illegal aliens. Michael Rappaport says, why don't you fireproof California? Mic drop. Oh, my God. I love that guy. What else? Jack Daniels, 12% cut in their workforce. As soon as people find out it causes cancer, like you probably didn't know that already, people have stopped drinking bourbon. Meta is cutting 3,000 or 3,600 jobs, 5% of their workforce. You know what? He's been talking to Musk. What did Musk say about his big cuts at X? He says, hey, if you don't do all the fact checking and all that BS, you don't need a lot of workers. That's why there's laying off all those folks. Chuck Todd out at NBC at the end of the year. Not the end of the year, end of the month. Elon Musk is going to have an office at the White House. Why not? China is coming up with some wild solar thing in space to where, using the sun, being that close, the way they're going to set this up, shooting it back by microwaves, it's going to be like all the energy in the world that you need. Kind of interesting. Puerto Rico has asked for Trump's assistance because this jackwagon from Merdando from Venezuela has threatened to invade. Yeah, right. Nancy Mace said, hey, you want to take it outside? When the woman on the left, that congresswoman, was calling her a child. Nancy Mace, a badass. She was the first woman to graduate from the Citadel. I wouldn't mess with her. She's also very beautiful. All right, Trump went golfing yesterday with DeSantis as we get closer to DeSantis making the appointment of Marco Rubio. The SEC filed a complaint against X. What do you think Trump's SEC is going to do with that? See ya. Capital One, I love reporting this stuff, accused of cheating millions of customers out of interest rate payments. By golly, I got a Capital One card. What's in your wallet? All right. North Korea can't make it up. They're not even trying to hide the knockoffs. They've got a fake IKEA store that they're calling IKEA. Melania Trump. Remember how nobody wanted to dress her, all those fashion designers or stuff? Well, now they all want to be dressing up Melania. Melania is getting the respect that she deserves. Zuck, you ready for this? 70 fact checkers are pissed off that they're getting rid of him. Good for Zuck. California, you ready for this? Pentagon is standing by. All the military help. I mean, they do some stuff with the military fighting fires. California hasn't asked. Isn't that something? This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. That's a long show. Coming up next, local news. All right, here we go with local news. Amy Rodriguez, the Cheviot woman that was serving 3 years in jail for abusing her stepson. Court of Appeal says, see ya, you're out of here, can't be prosecuted again. Prosecutors don't know if they're going to take it to the Ohio Supreme Court, but that was a big victory. They said the jury questions were too confusing. A lawsuit on Kentucky education has been filed, claiming everybody in public education's getting ripped off. It sounds like this is coming from the left of the political arena, not the right of the political arena. I read the article about it. Seems pretty interesting. Now, I love talking about this. Thomas Massey and his nasties. And I love it. See, they think it's funny. I think it's great. They all adopted my nickname for him, Thomas Massey Nasties. They even got shirts. Now, I got to just tell you something, because I'm the only one with guts that speak out against these folks. I tried to be nice to all these people. It didn't work. Thomas Massey, Northern Kentucky, I don't know when you're going to wake up. I think a Trump endorsement of a candidate and those Trump voters that would get out to vote would defeat Massey. The problem is Massey and his nasties in these Republican primaries get all their quote-unquote people out. But I got to ask all Republican voters in the 4th Congressional District of Northern Kentucky, why do you keep voting for a guy who's not only completely incompetent, he doesn't even have a friend anymore in Washington. He is the only congressman that voted against Michael Johnson for Speaker. And those other people in the Freedom Caucus, Jordan, Roy, Mace, they all voted for Johnson. I would have voted for Johnson. He doesn't. And what happens? He gets kicked off the Rules Committee. He claims he volunteered to step aside. Yeah, right. The bottom line is Thomas Massey is a joke. And guess what? All those people in that picture are all people who are elected officials here in Northern Kentucky who support Massey. So all the dumb things Massey did, those people supported what Massey did, voting against Michael Johnson. And guess what? Boone County, which is this growing Republican county, is all represented by Massey nasties. Grant County and Boone County. And guess who hates them? The leadership in the Republican legislature. So Boone County, you have elected a bunch of Massey nasties who are the least influential legislators in the entire state. It's time for Massey and his nasties to go. Trump Highway, this is hysterical. T.J. Roberts, who you know I don't like, another nasty, new state rep. Boone County, how did you get him in there? Guess what? He's saying we ought to name a part of the highway the Donald J. Trump Highway. Why? After all these years of bashing Trump, mashing Trump, and everything else, he wants to do this. Why? He's sucking up to Trump because Trump's the president. That's what it's all about. Nobody's going to fall for it. And it's also a dig at me. He's like, boy, this will piss off Eric Deters. It does, TJ, but I think it's humorous. All right, Tank is increasing rates, modifying schedules and everything else. Check out Tank. Too much to talk about here. Adam Dwayne pled guilty to the bathroom videos he took. What kind of a perv hides cameras in a bathroom to look at what? All right, Brown Foreman in Louisville, 650 jobs laid off. Remember about Jack Daniels? Nobody's drinking bourbon. Rising Sun Casino, they want to move to New Haven. We'll see how that goes. They need the support of the Indiana legislature. It looks like they have it. Coming up next, Jamie Spindley and his World News.
Hello there, today's top stories. Rescuers in northwestern Peru are searching for at least 17 miners trapped in a small gold mine. Authorities believe the mine was attacked by illegal miners, a common issue in the region. The incident highlights growing violence and illegal mining in the area. Sierra Leone declared a state of emergency after reporting 2 Mpox cases within 4 days. Health officials say neither patient had contact with infected animals or individuals. Both are receiving treatment in Freetown, the country's capital. In other news, Ukraine launched its largest attack on Russian territory since the war began, targeting multiple sites deep inside Russia. Officials in Kyiv called it their most massive strike of the conflict. And South Korea President Yoon Suk-yeol, 64, was arrested following allegations of insurrection tied to a failed martial law order in December. Yoon, the first sitting president to face arrest, had been impeached, but his removal waits a court decision. You're up to date on the latest world headlines. Stay tuned for Sports Without Boundaries.
All right, Sports Without Boundaries. That means we go out of the bounds. Deion Sanders and the Dallas Cowboys are talking. Please, please, please hire Deion Sanders. Mike McCarthy is getting interviews of other jobs. He's, of course, out at Dallas. UK last night at Rupp Arena had a great win, 81-69 over Texas A&M. I watched the entire game. It was great. Xavier knocks off Villanova 69-63. All right. January 20th, inaugural night, Monday night, 7:30. Remember, this game sometimes used to be at 9 o'clock. They finally moved it up, 7:30. Ohio State versus Notre Dame. I'm going to be rooting for Notre Dame. Why? Because I've always rooted for Notre Dame. And no offense to you Buckeye fans, I don't like your coach. Saturday, NFL, Texans and Chiefs at 4:30, Commanders and Lions at 8 o'clock. Bubba Thompson, the Cincinnati Reds player, he's going to go back. He's like 29 years old, walk-on quarterback for a college. Sunday NFL, Rams, Eagles at 3 p.m., Ravens, Bills at 6:30 p.m. This is the Bulldog. That's all our sports for today. Coming up next, pop culture. All right, here we go with pop culture, the funnest. Is funnest a word? I don't think it is. The fun part of our show. Great story David Schwimmer, that one of the friends told. His mom was a divorce lawyer in California. And he said one time he had to hide in the bushes. His job was serving papers. And he served Rod Stewart his divorce papers when he was a kid. Rod Stewart doesn't like Schwimmer. Jessica Simpson and Eric Johnson, after 10 years, he's a former Seattle Seahawk, are tight end, being separated and getting divorced after 10 years. Everybody apparently saw this coming again. Jessica Alba, divorce. Jessica Simpson, divorce. Jennifer Aniston can't keep a husband. Just tells you, man, women like that, and they can't keep a spouse, I don't know. I don't know whose side I'm on. Burger King, you can't make this up. Some mother in a TikTok video is going viral. We're going to show you the video. They found pot in the bottom of their Burger King bag. Folks, I can tell you this. You can ask anybody in the restaurant business. The people who work in kitchens of restaurants in America are stoned. I'm just telling you. Here's the video.
Okay, went to Burger King tonight. Listen, I need you guys to listen. Got my kids some chicken fries. This bag came. If you look down in there, you can see some residue. She got her chicken fries. Chicken fries with the side of... Do you see that? You can't say that on here. Mary Jane. From Burger King in Hamilton, Ohio.
And the Oscars might be canceled for the first time in 90-some years because of the fires. Do you care? I don't care. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Remember, do not be a crooked, pated, pigeon-livered clod.